there is your referee for this match, Shivraj Singh. The guy behind him still hasn't finished that pint. Very slow drinker there, Steve.
He's either a very slow drinker or he's on his 5th pint. that's the real
wow.
5th. Well, I don't know why that came to my head, but I just assumed, you know.
12:54, the 5th pint. That's hardcore.
You know, one in Rome, you know, or Hamburg.
2025 presented by Sportweg. Women's round 1 match. Emilia Soini of Finland to serve. Jessica van der Walt of Australia to receive. Best of 5 games. La Vol. La Vol.
Last minute preparations from these two, keeping the ball nice and warm. And then we go straight into the tin there from Soini. Not really what you want in the first rally.
Definitely what Jessica wants, though. She'll want to see a few more of those.
Absolutely. She'll have enjoyed that. Yeah, Van der Waal, as I say, formerly Turnbull. She's had a lot of experience in Commonwealth Games, hasn't she? Doubles over the years. Some big matches.
Strong player, Jessica, just right on cue there. Really shapes up the racket preparation to slam through that ball.
Great shot. Seems very effective, doesn't it, the low kill on this court.
Well, they're very contrasting styles, these two players. You've got Soini, who's very much the accuracy player, wants to play at a slower pace. And then you've got Jessica, who wants to really throttle the ball.
It's a little bit like Shaheen earlier. 4-love start, early lead in this first game for Van der Waal.
5-love.
Yeah, strong player here, Jessica. Very clean hitter of the ball. Oh, she's finding the range really nicely.
Yeah, she's hitting with pace and with accuracy here, right off the bat, Van der Waal. Perfect line, wasn't it? Just bouncing at the back of the service box, second bounce in the nick at the back.
It's where this court can be really rewarding. It's finding that weight of shot, sending the ball long.
7-love.
And this is a bit of a whitewash here from the start here from Jessica.
So far, there's a lot of work to do, a lot of food for thought for Soini.
Scrambling, and that was a good, important point for Soini to get on the board.
She's escaped the bagel, hasn't she?
And what you'll see here is the serve. Soini has got a very tricky serve. She uses the lob very, very effectively.
Well, it's a first chance, isn't it? Didn't do much that time. But that's a good width.
2-7.
From left to right.
Yeah, you feel like with someone like Jessica, who's very powerful in the front corners and really, when she's got time, she can really, you know, drive it deep. You got to cross court, you got to twist and turn her opponent.
Yeah, she's not been made to move much so far, has she, Van der Waal, which is the way that she would like it. Just, as you say, use her strengths, which is her hitting power and accuracy.
9-2.
Dream start here for Jessica, though. That's better from Soini.
And out. 3-9.
Looked a little bit out of breath there in that.
Yeah, she did.
Facial expression. body language
10-3, game ball.
definitely giving warning signs for Soini, and the opposite for Jessica, who's looking very strong and confident on court.
And there you go. First time of
11-3
asking after
to
the
Van der Waals.
7-game balls.
Van der Waals leads 1 game to love.
Takes it without too much fuss. The Aussie coming through 11-3 in the first game in 5 minutes. She leads by 1 game to love.
It was a rapid fire first game, very, very short rallies, not really constructing anything from Soini, but it was very positive squash from Jessica, the Australian player, very strong player, finding a range nicely, hitting through the ball, just finishing that last game, that last point there really nicely. Really positive signs here from the Aussie player.
Play will resume in 60 seconds. Play will resume in 30 seconds. Seconds. Van der Waals leads 1 game to love. Love all.
Well, Steve, what do you feel the Finn has to do here in order to improve?
Has to get psyched up first and foremost. You know, the body language is all down, all negative.
Down.
Needs to show her opponent that she actually wants to fight back into this match. Also think it's important for her to get on the serve. I know that's easier said than done to get on the serve, but it's where she constructs her rallies really well. You know, if you look at this height of the serve, she forces an opportunity for her opponent.
Yep, a slightly loose one came out there, didn't it? And
That's
the flick.
better. That's again, it's that sort of proactiveness that she needs to step up on. Because I think with what I've watched with Jessica's previous matches, if you can really get stuck into her and sort of try and take away the time from her, then you can get a lot of reward. But it's going to be a big ask here.
Yeah, she's made a move there. That was good. It was a tight ball, but she had to sort of correct her movement you see there and then go into that back left, and it was difficult for Van der Waals. And it's almost like she plays a lob drop game if she gets the chance. Soini, quite a thoughtful game, but she's obviously got to keep the error count down and just get into, like you say, the positions where she's getting a serve, which she is in this game. It's a good response.
Well, it's almost like a parallel response, isn't it? Or it's almost exactly the same as the first, just a different opponent. And she's finding a range better now. And when I say range, she's actually lifting the ball into places that her opponent is not, put simply. And that's again a perfect example. You know, it's again making the court feel big, and it does feel big then for Jessica when she's chasing it, just with that heavy movement.
And you can see as well, Soini likes to take her time before that lob serve, which is fair enough. It's good psychologically, really, because she got blown away in that first game, and I wasn't quite sure we'd see much of a response. I was hoping we would. Certainly didn't expect this. 6-love to the Finn now.
Yeah, just again a change of body language. It's just flipped to the other side now. Jessica looks slightly less confident, positive, and that was a clever serve. I don't know how it that actually caught her out there, but it was it was clever.
Yeah, she won't be happy. She won't want to see that one again. The Aussie completely flummoxed. It just shows that when Soini has the ball in her hand, she really thinks about what she's doing. She's got a really good lob serve, and then she mixed it up with the one down the middle. That was a better rally for Van der Waal, just avoiding the bagel. But yeah, as I was saying about the Finn, she's a lot more thoughtful when she has the serve. And that's almost like a serve, that volley return.
Yes, let.
Ooh. Not much movement there from Van der Waal.
No, not quite.
1-7.
But I mean, yeah, it would be worth a review for me. But I think Jessica,
2-7.
again, it's the hard hitting that really blew her opponent off the court in that first game, and it's not been the same. And that's credit to Soini. She's restricted those shots by using the height a lot more. But again, this is where I can start to predict a little bit of a run again from Jessica here if she just keeps hitting hard and low.
You can almost see the momentum coming, can't you, and switching. Van der Waal almost in a bit more of a hurry to serve and get that pace into the rally. Yeah, she's quite severe, but that's a brilliantly severe soft drop shot from the back of the court from Soini. Really good skill levels there.
Yeah, she can place the ball really well, can't she? It's like you said, she's really thoughtful, and that's a good example there.
Another good serve, good return though.
I think that's again another example of Jessica. What she needs to do more here in this game to get back, close the gap, is just playing with a little bit more pressure, taking away the time from her opponent. Like you say, Soini really plays well when the ball's in hand, but then when it's stretched out further away, there's almost not an attempt at retrieving the ball.
Yeah, she's got to be careful here, Soini. She's got a good lead, but the Aussie is just looking for ways to come back, but she's not going to get that
What a
back.
shot.
Yeah, brilliant shot from
9.
high up. Just looks to be a little bit physically distressed, Soini. You see here, I think she's just... Yeah, she looks a little bit out of breath. It's not got that one.
Hand out. 6.
So
9.
Van der Waal is still sort of bubbling under here with the threat there to pull back in this second. That's a good hold though, wasn't it, from Soini. Van der Waal got herself into a tricky position. Well finished. So 4 game balls then to potentially equalise here for the Finn.
That's a nice return. Very difficult to take that shot in short,
Game ball.
especially from that lob serve that Soini does so well.
Yeah, it is a good lob serve, but Van der Waal does have pretty good control on that backhand side, but she's not quick enough to retrieve that quick boast in there. It's a good shot, it's a good tactic from Soini. I think we probably need to see a bit more of that from her as she takes the second game 11-7 in 7 minutes. It's 1 game apiece.
Well, that was a much better response there from the Finn. Really stepping up there on the tee, taking it in short, but actually creating space and moving her opponent more, which she didn't see in that first game. Complete momentum shift, really, from that first game. There was a sign that Jessica was starting to come back, that momentum shifting again back to her, but Soini's definitely playing a lot better than she did in that first game. She'll need to keep that up into this third game. She's going to manage to close this one out.
Play will resume in 30 seconds. 15 seconds. One game all, so we need to serve. Love all.
So Soini looking a lot better in that second game, getting her tactics
And
spot on.
One love.
She's got to be careful here because Van der Waal will be annoyed at that second game. She was sort of bubbling under. She'll be trying to pick the pace up again with the hitting and the volleying.
Yeah, immediately you can see Jessica trying to step the pace up, but that's really clean from Soini, very accurate.
1-all.
Quite a difficult shot here to just caress the ball in that cross court. Nick. Nicely done there from Jessica.
And out.
Van der Waal.
1.
You do really feel like she has to, Emilia's going to have to step up here.
Yeah, as is that guy with that,
As is that guy.
pint. He's been nursing that for the last 2 hours.
3-1.
I don't even think he likes beer.
I don't think that's possible. It's not allowed, actually, I think I've heard.
He's holding it for someone else. That's a poor error from Van der Waal. Could have perhaps tried to flick that straight. A few more closer rallies at the beginning of this third. There's the lob serve again. A bit like Emily Whitlock, I guess. She always likes to
Very similar.
use that lob serve and then try and look for the volley or the drop shot. That's a nice touch.
3-all.
Yeah, this is nice positioning here from Soini. Getting in low, just lifting the ball up onto the front wall.
Nearly got her again, didn't
I
she,
mean,
with the one down the middle. It's a great tactic, and even though she reacted and actually got strings on the ball, it was a mistake at the end of the day.
yeah, it's still completely caught her off guard, and it's one of those ones where you just need to read that a little bit better.
Lob serve just hit the Squash TV emblem there.
5.
Perfect place to aim for, in fact.
Definitely feels like a shootout in this game. You know, it's not about constructing the rallies as much. It's whoever gets the chance, you know, the loose ball that's going to win this rally. And I think that does actually fit. But clearly at the minute it's favouring Soini.
Yeah, she's just sort of thinking about what she's doing,
6-3.
taking her time in between rallies. And she's played to her strengths, which is what she needs to do here with Finn. Again, I think that lob serve is pretty much on the Squash TV side. Oh, it's
That's
a
good hold.
Good taxi, wasn't it?
7-3.
Very, very nice.
Drew her in. You'll see this is a great angle. Drew her in for that straight drop and then last minute flick. Yeah, just needed to lift that one, didn't she? She's slightly on the back foot there, Soini.
It also feels like with Van der Waal as well, in that first game, she was hitting with power, but she was relatively accurate. And I think the response here is to try and be harder, but accuracy needs to be higher. Because Soini, as we've said, is a bit of a shootout player, and she can really take it in quickly.
5-7.
But there's almost no movement in responses to the shots at the front from
Well,
Soini.
she's so far out of position. That last one, she was so far back. There's no way that she'd even start to try and retrieve it.
Out. Hand out. 8-5.
What do you reckon here, Steve? Lob serve?
going to gamble and say it's a lob serve. Yep. Perfect. That's good.
Yeah, it's well played.
9-5.
She really turned her whole body into this to generate the power enough to find that back right corner.
It's a weak lob. She's got away with it a little bit. Should have gone to the back of the court for Soini.
Hand out. 6-9.
It was a good rally there from Van der Waal to take that, but again, there is that issue area of giving her opponent too much time. Like I say, Soini so good on the volley when she's got space and time, but a few too many opportunities here. But that'll do. That's a nice lift.
9.
Do drop in. It worked. So just 2 points drift now for the Aussie.
Down.
Well, that was the right
out.
shot, wasn't it? Just not
10-7.
executed
Game ball.
correctly, and should be kicking herself there. So 3 game balls for Soini. The Finn just taking her time. I assume getting ready for another lob serve here. There we go, up it goes. Slightly loose return. Looks a little bit more lively, doesn't she? The Finn on the tee.
Yeah, there's a bit more of a spring in her step here. This is a better response. That's
That's
a great shot.
Clever shot. Took her legs away completely, didn't she?
Completely.
Hand out. 8-10.
And that's that strength there being shown. Really sending her opponent the complete wrong way. Good response there from the Australian.
There's carry. Pretty sure that was a carry there. Well, it's going to be a stroke.
Soini.
So it's a moot point, really. Has to be a stroke, doesn't it?
11-8.
I think a bit of justice there, really, after the carry from the back of the court.
Yeah, you were right on that. That was quick. Maybe I was just too slow.
So Soini taking the third game, 11-8 in 8 minutes. She leads by 2-1.
Well, it's the higher seeded Finnish player really stepping up and carrying on from that previous game. She's making a little bit more patterns, a few holes, really trying to put some doubt in her opponent's mind, and she's exposing that weakness of the movement in the front corners a lot better. Positive signs here again from the Finnish player. She takes that game.
Play will resume in 30 seconds. Game to 1, Soini to serve. Love all. Yep.
So Emilia Soini of Finland has found herself in a good position here as that lob serve goes in at the beginning of this crucial 4th game. 2-1 up. She's started to make the game go her way in terms of tactics. You can see Van der Waal being as busy as she possibly can. Can't do much about that. Very lucky.
There's nothing you could do other than be very, very annoyed because it was a complete framer. It's funny, after that first game from Van der Waal, it really felt like it was going all the way, and I do think that what she was doing on court was the right thing, hitting it hard,
Absolutely.
fast, just taking away the time, and for some reason, and it's all credit to Soini, but she just stepped off the mark and really let the Finnish player control the rallies a lot better.
Definitely, and I think what she's still trying to do it. She's still trying to pick up the pace, take the ball as early as possible. Look how far away Soini is from that drop shot.
You know, it's a foot away from the tee. You're in no man's land there, really, to respond to that.
Down 3-1.
Yeah, the error's just creeping in now from Soini. I think we're seeing a good response here from the Aussie, but that was a nice volley drop shot, good skill.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic shot here. Just really gets into a good position, low. Plenty of room to play the shot. It really feels like, from Jessica's point of view, that if she gets any opportunity at the front, the right option is just to take it in short. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to sit up on the front wall, get her opponent moving.
What?
I'm not going to repeat that. That was not what I meant.
3, 4.
Her opponent. I haven't said power enough, have I?
No.
Are you just trying to find something else to criticise?
Power.
Yeah. Power.
Power.
Hand out.
Oh, she's nodding away to herself after putting that ball in the tin. I'm assuming she's having a word with herself, trying to get back to the tactics that have worked so well.
Yeah, it's all about the height as well from Soini. She's aware that her opponent doesn't like taking it from the volley quite high up.
6-3.
But there's a degree of accuracy that you need, isn't there? Yeah, and that didn't have it, that last shot. So well finished by Van der Waal. It's pretty good if she gets time and space on the volley. That wasn't too bad.
4-6.
Just as we said, Soini's really using that height to the advantage. Lifting every shot there in that rally. Tricky to play, especially on glass courts. When you lift the ball high, the way that the lights are positioned, it's quite distracting. It's quite blinding almost.
Yeah, it can be. You can almost be a victim of your own success.
That's
in terms of if you get a really good lob up there, you've got to watch it as well. So you know, you're both kind of looking into the lights.
This is a great shot just because of the accuracy, given the awkward position that she was in. Good reactionary stuff from Soini.
Ooh, a little bit unlucky there. Just clipping the top of the tin, so very slight lead then for the Aussie, looking to try and secure this fourth game.
It was the right choice though, wasn't it? It was that attacking
post. It was on, definitely.
100% on.
Would have been a winner.
Again there, simple squash there. Take it in short. Her opponent's absolutely nowhere to be seen. I think if she picks up on that and really steps forward with that, she should just take those in short going forward.
Yeah, she really isn't moving for them, is she, Soini?
Hand out. 7-8.
Good way to shot there from Van der Waal.
9-7.
There's an appeal there from the Aussie player.
I think it was in. Yeah, it's a moot point in the end. Nice line, nice width there from Soini.
8-9.
Let's have a look at this. Very nice finish there from Soini. Confident finish. It's another one as well. That's where that boast comes in. So effective against a player like Jessica. He does have that slight weakness in the covering those front ball corners.
Yeah, it was a clever little shot that. Now parity in this fourth game and a chance for Soini to just sneak victory here.
Stroke to Van der Welt.
And it's just moved the wrong way. Obviously, it was a loose shot, but if she'd have stayed at the
And
left, she could have got away with it. But
Game
it's
ball.
given a game ball to Van der Welt.
Important serve here. Oh, she's got a dream
To drop in.
response there from Van der Welt.
So frustrating for Soini. It was kind of overhit there, but the ball landing in the neck, and you can see the frustration from the Finn, quite rightly. Van der Welt taking the fourth game then, 11-9 in 7 minutes. The score is 2 games apiece.
Well, it's the Aussie player that's managed to clinch this fourth game to find herself into the fifth. Exciting match we have on hands now. Emilia Soini really did look like she was, again, taking charge of that fifth game, taking the ball in short, moving her opponent well, but she gets exposed when Jessica moves her into the front corners where she stood so far behind that tee line. Has to be really careful now when she takes it in loose. Now that Jessica has sensed that there's a real drop off. Big fifth game coming up.
Play will resume in 60 seconds. Play will resume in 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Two games all. Van der Welt to serve. Each player has one review available. Love all.
Well, Steve, you were right in that you thought this match might go the distance.
Love all.
Yeah, it just had the recipe of it, didn't it? Both players sort of similar ranking, similar stage of their careers, similar age as well, 29 each.
And the one thing they're not very similar in is their styles. Both trying to kind of impose those styles as much as possible on the opponent. This is better from Soini, very accurate.
And
Good
out. One love.
lifting the ball down the backhand side, taking the opportunity there.
Yeah, needs a positive start here from the Finnish player. Has to get a few quick points on the board.
It's nice. Good bit of cut there on the ball from the back of the court. Good accuracy from the Finn.
Yeah, when she has time on the ball, the way her technique works, the smooth swing, she does have a lot of options, which is very difficult to play against. But the way to counter that is to do things like this. You know, it's to really try and expose the movement that Soini's not doing from that tee position.
Well, as soon as Soini takes in a inaccurate boast or drop, she gets punished.
Stroke to Soini.
Well, it was
Hand out.
fairly difficult to get a perception of the distance there because we couldn't see the ball. It looked pretty tight, but obviously the referee feels that she would have hit her in a swing.
Yeah, it was definitely tight, but yeah, not enough room made available by her opponent.
That's a clever shot.
Seen that before. It's a great area for Jessica. Really jumps in the air, and uses their strength to send that the opposite direction.
Down.
We've seen so many of those tins, especially in that first game, didn't we? And they can't afford to be crept in this crucial 5th game.
Yeah, she's got to keep a lid on that, that's for sure. It's got to be the best quality, really, from both of these players. As I say, imposing their game on the other if possible. That's a nice volley.
And that's that shootout squash, isn't it? It's you hit it loose. Soini is very dangerous, especially on that volley.
I believe for Soini, the way that she's moving, which isn't that well really in terms of when she hits a loose shot to the front. Lob drop is the way forward for her.
100%.
But it's got to be accurate.
That's it. Similar for Van der Velde. It has to be powerful, it has to be hard hitting, but it has to have some level of accuracy, especially down the side walls.
Out. Five, 4.
Are we seeing a tiebreaker here?
Possibly. Both players being pretty stubborn here in their efforts to try and secure this match. Good change of direction, but she managed to just flick it back there. Good pressure there from the Finn.
It's good scrambling here from the Aussie, but it was well covered by Soini.
He finally just got the enough accuracy, didn't she, on that drive? Going straight down the line, great shot. Yeah, again, just bought herself a bit of time and space on that forehand side. Got the right line. It's a slender lead then for the Finn.
Doesn't opt for the lob serve on the serve into the forehand.
7,
Soini
5.
really tries to use that lift.
Yeah, she wants the angle, doesn't she, from this side, from the right-hand side. It's a good serve.
It's a gift there for Soini.
5.
Van der Velde had her on the ropes a little bit in that rally, opting for the drive that was slightly loose, and it's exactly down to that point. Soini's so dangerous when you give her time and space.
Tight ball, did well.
Down.
Just down. So it's good play in the end from Soini.
9, 5.
Well, that gentleman on the right's finally finished his pint.
Must be a record for the longest pint ever. 3 hours, is it? 2 hours maybe?
Certainly wouldn't get that in Yorkshire.
Accurate stuff here from the Finn.
Not up. Hand out. 6, 9.
Nice finish here from the Aussie player, just caressing it into the front wall nick. Needs to have a big push in this next rally.
Yeah, it's a good finish. Just finding the corner there, exactly the right line and pace from Soini. So 4 match balls for the Finn. It's been a bit of a scrappy match, hasn't it, Steve? But somehow Soini's finding herself in a good position here.
Video referee decision.
Well, some excitement there towards the end here.
Well, the ball was bouncing pretty high, wasn't it? I think, in my mind, there's no question it's at least a red.
Difficulty is, though, we've seen the movement from Soini. Can she change direction that quickly to get around there? Or is she committing to the left?
I think so. I think she's right behind her. I don't think this is too far away. But she isn't getting a racket up behind the Aussie. So she's not really showing that she could potentially have a stroke.
I'm going no let.
Controversial.
No let.
But the video referee agrees with you.
What can I say?
That you were right.
I was right, yeah. Like, I'm not going to say I'm right, but I'm right.
You were.
Lifeline there then for Van der Vaalt. Needs to capitalise.
Well, that's well played. Good width and depth there. Into the back left again from Emilia Soini. A few bits of extra practice for the Aussie, but she's not going to get a chance to come back on this court, unfortunately. It was a tough match of really contrasting styles, but it's Emilia Soini that comes through. 3-11, 11-7, 11-8, 9-11, 11-7, 3-2 in 42 minutes. And I believe she's going to have a word with Vanessa Atkinson.
Emilia, congratulations. I do apologise. I actually managed to mess up both of your intros today. You are, of course, a 10-time Finnish national champion. The big question is, will you go for the record, which I'm assuming is held by the Finnish legend himself, Olli Tuominen. Is it 18?
Yeah, but I think there's actually a woman in Finland who has 20.
Really?
Yeah, so I have 11 to go.
So you're halfway, pretty much. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. Well done today. Good to get off to a winning start here. You looked sort of in control in the second and third. Got 2-1 up. Lost the fourth, but then a bit of extra experience, perhaps, getting you through in the fifth.
I think it was more my emotions, kind of, and controlling that. This month I pulled out of the previous 2 tournaments. I was entered in Canada because I had pneumonia. Oh, wow. So I just decided to kind of try and start playing somewhere. So, and I can't just keep on pulling out from tournaments. I have to start from somewhere. That's why I also looked like I was dying from the second point onwards, because I was. So I haven't been playing much. I've been training for 2 weeks, and I'm still nowhere near my regular fitness level. I've always been decently good with my hitting and all that. So in a way, as long as I could catch my breath and kind of have my brain sorted and calm down and know what I'm doing, it was going accordingly. But then obviously if I played loose shots, she's also an amazing player. She's got nice hands, and tactically she's very good. So it was more managing that than anything else.
Well, even more impressive then to get through today. Obviously, you will face the number 1 seed, Gina Kennedy, in tomorrow's match. Well, you know now, if you didn't know that before. Even though you probably wouldn't choose to play a 5-setter, it is sort of nice to sometimes have a match on the court. You sort of go into that with a little bit of information about the court and how you sort of tactically can approach the match.
Yeah, for sure, and I don't think we necessarily played really long rallies. So in a way, sometimes a 5-gamer with a lot of short rallies is good for sure. And for me, this is more practice than anything else. And yeah, my draw changed a couple of days ago, so that's why I was supposed to play Emily, and then I ended up playing Jess, and I became a seed, and I came here kind of like, oh, not any expectations, and all of a sudden I'm seeded to win, and I was like, ah! So now it's nice to play someone that's actually seeded to win and just go take it as practice and see how much I can improve during the week.
Fantastic. Well, we look forward to seeing you same time, same place, I believe, tomorrow against Gina. Ladies and gentlemen, Emilia Soini. Thank you.
Well, very relieved Soini there. Just alluding to some of the difficulties she's been facing off court, so a even more impressive win given the difficult conditions here, but it was a very experienced win here. she really had to change her tactics, really step up, and also try and adjust to the fact that she was struggling with her breathing and struggling with that fitness side of things. So all in all, a very, very impressive performance from the Finnish player.
Well, coming up next, we have more local interest in the form of Valentin Rapp of Germany. He's up against Yannick